All right, if you're going to sell your house, I'm going to give you some tips. I've been selling real estate since 2005, so I have a lot of insight to share, but you don't have all day, so I'll get right into it. Tip 1 is prep for market. So why the idea of selling your home as is so easily justified in the mind of so many sellers is completely beyond me, yet many sellers do want to consider this option. I'll tell you, it's never going to yield your highest sale price possible on your home, and if you're dead set on selling your home as is, I would say that your decision is actually negligent. A more relatable and familiar comparison would be selling a vehicle. So the first thing you're going to do before you sell your vehicle is clean it up, make it look as best as possible for pictures or for that potential buyer. Heck, you might even change the brake pads and the oil as well. This is just kind of what you do. So when you sell your home, it's best to take action in similar ways. Just like cleaning your car, you should do a real deep clean of your house, reduce your clutter, and begin the staging process. So cleaning and decluttering is easy. Staging can be tricky. It can involve a lot of different things. Ultimately, when staging your home, you want to maximize the amount of floor space, improve the traffic flow, eliminate personal photos, eliminate politics, and remove religion completely. So I've had sellers oppose every one of these instructions for various reasons, and just know this, if you're only appealing to people like you are likely cutting out a large portion of the buying market. It makes much more sense to do your best to appeal to the masses, and that's exactly the strategy that I operate on, where I flip a home or remodel a rental, and when I advise my seller clients who are readying their homes for the market. Painting rooms is the equivalence of your oil change in the car selling comparison. It's small and relatively inexpensive, but in this case, the payoff is actually notable. Right now, the masses like neutral grays in terms of wall colors. White is still the safest bet for your kitchen cabinetry or trim and moldings. Don't wash everything out in any one color either. You should absolutely make sure that you're maintaining some contrast to avoid that state of lifelessness or stale feeling. Just having done the painting and staging and cleaning, you're substantially improving your sale price and reducing your market time. So I would liken other improvements to the oil change, and it's common for me to recommend flooring updates, especially if it's a small space like a bathroom, because it really keeps the cost down and it can totally change the overall appearance of that room. Changing your brake pads can be hugely important. When selling your house, this means that you need to nip buyer repair requests in the bud. So if your air conditioner is broken, repair it. If you totally overlooked or forgot about that when you filled out your disclosures, now it's brought to light during a home inspection and you're going to have to satisfy the buyer. So if you've got a 15-year-old unit, the buyer is likely not going to settle for a repair. They want it replaced by a licensed HVAC tech, or they want thousands credited back in the form of closing costs or purchase price reduction. Had the home inspector found that the 15-year-old air conditioner was functioning as good as could be expected for the age of the unit, you're going to be just fine. So I've used the air conditioner as an example here, but I would say that the most common repair that I help my sellers to identify and rectify before listing is swapping out an old fuse panel or a Federal Pacific breaker box. If you live in an area that has a point of sale inspection requirement, then the things that you need to focus on will likely go above and beyond that in which a buyer would really truly care about. But if you can provide a property that is violation-free, you are again going to be ensuring that you have the ability to maximize your profit. Every improvement or modification you make to sell your home is an investment. When done properly and with the right guidance, this can yield the type of ROI that investors yearn for. You should be the one reaping the benefits of the potential of your home, not the buyer. The buyer is the one who's going to pay you for all of it, and right now buyers are paying for everything that you present to them. Tip 2, don't shoot the moon. Price your home competitively and know the comps. So when I say know the comps, I should say that make sure your agent knows the comps, because your realtor will look at comps and your home with zero emotional bias. This is important because ultimately the appraiser will look at the same information in the same way. So even though you know that Sally down the street was a smoker, you went to her open house, you saw stains on her carpeting, you just redid your floors, and that doesn't necessarily mean that your house is more valuable than hers. It's understandable that you would adopt this stance, but you could easily be overlooking or underestimating the value of her additional bedroom and full bathroom, or some major upgrades that were less noticeable, such as a 3-year-old roof and her new furnace and air conditioning. So let your agent take an objective look at everything and trust their insights so long as they can properly articulate their reasoning to you. If you have a knowledgeable and experienced agent, they should break this all down with confidence and conviction. The payoff you get for pricing your home competitively in this market is multiple offers. Handled properly, multiple offers brings you the highest and best offer from any and all buyers, and will leave you in many cases with a sale price and terms that you never would have dared to require for fear of thinking that you were going to be unreasonable. If you priced your home 5% over what was reasonable, it would be likely that you may get a little less than your asking price, or you might even get your asking price due to low inventory right now. But if you price your home at what is reasonable, it is likely that you will have a buyer offer 5 to 10% above that price, or in some instances even more. This takes a lot of trust in your agent. As a high-producing agent who's been operating in this market, I stand by this approach when it comes to pricing, and most of my listings are sold above asking price with terms that are extremely advantageous to the seller. Some of my other videos will go into more depth about specific terms that a buyer can or will offer. Tip 3, open your schedule for showings. Showing your home is a burden, especially if you live in the home, because it is a chore to keep it in showing condition. The only way you can eliminate this burden is by getting your home sold. To improve the chances of that happening, it is best to approve each and every request for an appointment. There are a million reasons why a seller may want to restrict showings on the home. It could be an odd sleep schedule due to work shifts, the need to work from home, a pet that is in the home, or just plain out paranoia that something will go severely wrong if you are not home during a showing. By the way, I don't care how personable you are, you do not belong inside your home while potential buyers are viewing it. Get out of there. Every one of those scheduling obstacles can be overcome if you are dedicated to allowing all showings. So my best advice is to market the home in advance and then open the home for showings on a Friday. Have your home ready for showings Thursday night. When you leave on Friday, don't come back until Sunday evening. If you have the opportunity, take a little getaway to distract yourself and calm your anxiety about what's happening at home. If not, stay with family or grab a hotel locally. Either way, you didn't have to prepare the home for showings more than one time for your first weekend on the market. And if your agent can give you the right guidance and marketed the home well, you probably have multiple offers to review on Sunday night or Monday when you can make yourself available to do so. Tip 4, do not sell by owner. This deserves, and it will probably get its own video, so check the description for a link to that, but I'll touch on my top reason why this is important right now. First and foremost, when you are for sale by owner, you are not reaching nearly as much of the market as you could or would if you were listed with an agent. Even with outlets like Zillow, you truly do not have the same reach. So let's say you buy an MLS number to improve your reach. Now you have restrictions on your listing and marketing, which could include a tight limit on the number of photos that you can display, and you aren't getting an agent. So no matter how you are advertising as a for sale by owner, you will inevitably have buyers who are working with agents that want to see the house, and they aren't going to do it without their agent who has established a relationship with them. No problem, you can offer 3% or a flat fee to that buyer's agent as long as the bottom line makes sense to you. This is almost always the mentality of the for sale by owner because they're still saving half the commission, right? And no, that's wrong. Usually you're paying 3% to the buyer's agent, you're getting less than you would have if you were listed with a realtor, and in almost every instance you are getting weaker terms than an agent would have negotiated for you. So how does it make sense to do all the work, sell for less than you could have, and pay 3% to a realtor who is working in the buyer's best interest only while you have to fend for yourself? I would say that if you do really well as a for sale by owner, you will end up netting the same amount of money that you would if you would have listed the home with an agent. That's best case scenario. Tip 5 is to utilize a coming soon listing. Once you have your home ready for the market, don't go throwing it out there immediately. You'll sell if you're priced right, but why limit your exposure to the lucky ones who are in the right place at the right time? If you leverage the coming soon listing properly, you'll be able to have your first 48 to 72 hours worth of showings lined up well before you hit the market. As with everything else in this industry, I see coming soon listings done right, and I see them done wrong. Timing is important, but so is the marketing. My opinion is that you should have the home 100% ready for photos, and then you put together the coming soon listing. The wrong way, which I see all the time, is one photo posted, no description, and then they come back to it and revise the listing later, maybe right when it hits the market. A listing in the coming soon status is able to be advertised and marketed by your agent on the MLS, third-party websites, direct marketing, social media, and more, but it cannot be shown to prospective buyers until the day in which the listing goes active. So this creates a two-step entry into the market. When you hit the MLS as a coming soon listing, it's pushed out as a coming soon listing, and when you go active, it gets pushed out again as a new listing. So you've utilized the MLS now to put your home in front of buyers twice instead of once. You've also put your home at the top of the list as a fresh listing over the web twice instead of once, which captures new interest from buyers each time. In my area, we have a limit of 2 weeks in which we can be in the coming soon status. For many reasons, my approach is almost always to minimize the coming soon timeframe to about 4 to 5 days. This is long enough to allow the marketing to run its course before we're actively taking showings and offers, but it's short enough to ensure that we aren't losing too many buyers to other properties while they wait for us to go active. My ideal scenario is to have photos done on a Saturday so that I can prepare my marketing promotions with the professional photos and be ready to enter the listing as a coming soon on a Monday. We then go active, which means we start taking showings on a Friday or Saturday of the same week, and we review offers on Sunday evening or Monday morning. With this approach, my sellers are confident that their property was marketed long enough to capture attention from any and all interested buyers and open for showings long enough to bring them all through. The showings and offers that roll in act as proof that this is the case. Between hitting the MLS as a coming soon listing and all the way up until we have accepted an offer, I'm able to market the property to any and all corners of the earth. I can't say the same for a listing that makes a surprise entry into the market. These listings are offering an opportunity to the buyer. It just doesn't get the same exposure. It definitely doesn't get the same number of showings or offers before the seller has to consider responding. Without the coming soon approach, you may quickly get what you feel is a very aggressive offer that you have no reason to pass up. But if you had 75 buyers view the home instead of 15 buyers before you make a decision, you are clearly much more likely to be swept off your feet by an unheard of offer that exceeds your wildest expectations. If you are in my area, I would love to fine-tune this guidance and advice for your specific situation so that you can enjoy the highest sale price on your home. If you need a Rockstar agent in your area, feel free to let me know because I just may have someone for you there too.